Hey guys, welcome to Terra's YouTube channel. We're here to do an interview for a recap of Leg 2 for VS Gaming 2022. And this is how the team did, and these are some questions.
Coming into the team, what was your expectations for the team and were they fulfilled?
Oh, um, what were my expectations?
Yeah, you can.
Well, I didn't have so much in the way of expectations because I've been out of the scene for so long. So for those who don't know, after 2018 Comic-Con, I stopped playing. And basically, I was retired for, until the start of Leg 2. I literally hadn't touched CS in 2 years and decided to join a team. And this was the offer that came my way, courtesy of old Kratky, Bullock. And so I didn't have so much in the way of expectations, but it was more to see, could I play at a second div level still? Because having been at that first div level when I stopped, could I come to second div and then see if I could still hang, and if I could hang, is there any point in me playing further? Because I'm a super competitive person.
Yeah.
So
So what if you're not the
yeah,
best? There's no point.
exactly. That's kind of exactly how I am. Which
Oh.
is why when I play games or do something, I obsess.
Mm.
And I put 4,500 hours in something like 2 or 3 years of CS.
Hectic.
So
The-
that's the way I live. So well, now, if I couldn't compete at second div, I wouldn't have bothered. So as for were my expectations or goals met? Um, yeah, I would say that they were. I thought we could do a little bit better in second div than we did with the roster.
Mm.
But considering we had a total of 3 hours of practice for the entire leg,
Yeah.
and practice consisted basically of me being like, okay, you playing here, you playing there, and you playing there, cool. And that's all we ran with. The fact that we managed to stay up was, I think, an achievement in itself.
Mm.
But leaving it to the last day wasn't.
No, I
I don't
didn't
think was
help.
the greatest thing. No, no.
Yeah. Okay. What's the difference between this team and the other teams you've played in the past?
Hmm. This team, I've got a lot more vocal players. So in Omnius, I had Cheetah Boy, who when we picked him up was super young and really green, so he didn't quite understand the game properly.
Mm.
But he had fantastic aim. Obviously, now we know about the vac ban, but having watched him on LAN, I don't think he was cheating at LAN.
Mm.
I'm just gonna say that, but obviously I'll never know.
Mm.
But we picked him up because he had pretty good aim, and he came on the recommendation of a few people.
Mm.
And then we had Bullock, who at the time was nowhere near a Prem level player,
Yeah.
but he was the kind of guy you could tell run through a wall and he would do it. So having him to entry for your team was always helpful, and he did have good aim and a decent brain.
Mm.
So now, obviously, I've got a much better Bullock, much better
Yeah.
version of Bullock now because he
Upgraded.
didn't stop playing for the 3 years that I did. And then I had Nix, who was crazy on aim and a very good brain, but never was a carry. So what he
Why?
did do was he was the kind of guy who was happy to just be helpful to the team.
Mm.
So he wouldn't mind giving up trying to 30 bomb if he could help you win the game by helping everyone else around him be better.
Ah,
And
okay.
he was probably the most important player we had on Omnius. And then we
Hectic.
had Demonics, who was okay,
Ja.
and he wasn't bad at all. He obviously owned Omnius at the time, and he was a pretty solid player. But
Mm.
also everybody aside from me and Nick was quiet.
Ah.
So now I have a lot more voices. I've got a lot of people in Benji, Excessive, and Bullock who are very quick to throw ideas in. So having been out the game for 3 years, your in-game leading skills kind of take a small decline. Let's
Uh-huh.
just put it that way. So it's helpful having some extra voices, and I think that's the biggest difference.
Did you struggle with
And
the new
yeah,
changes to the ecosystem and all that?
so I really struggle to get to grips with the economy. The
Mm.
economy seems to be the biggest change. The meta has changed a little bit in the sense that there's a lot more teams pugging over attempting to play more strategically. So when I left in 2018, I had a lot of value being an in-game leader who played a very structured style of CS.
Mm.
And having spent the leg now, I've noticed, and I don't know if it's just a lower division thing, but teams in like second div are pugging a lot more, and nobody seems to quite understand the mechanics of getting map control, or if you lose map control in one area, going and getting map control somewhere else. And
Mm.
people don't seem to quite understand that. So the biggest thing I've noticed is even with the teams that have beat us, a lot of them we could have beaten, I think, if we'd actually had time to put protocols in place.
Mm.
And that's, I guess, the expectation for next leg is to move up into first div
Ah,
and
okay.
hopefully have more time to practice. But I've struggled with the economy side of the game, and the meta's changed a little bit, so that's taken some getting used to.
Oh, that's not too bad. What was your biggest hurdle this season?
Are you talking about for me or for the team?
Why not both?
For me, I think it was just the rusty aim
Mm.
and the misunderstanding in the economy.
Okay.
So I made some pretty bad calls because I didn't quite understand the basically what's I suppose called force wars, where if you lose the first round, you force bar until the team wins two,
True.
and that's the way to effectively play the economy game.
Okay.
But so for me, it was the aim and some of those calls. For the team, I think I bring a lot more structure to what they are used to playing in,
True.
and I think that people are struggling to quite understand what I'm looking for in the calls. So that's been our biggest hurdle is just trying to get everyone up to speed on what information needs to be fed and what I want done when certain things happen.
Mm,
And
okay.
yeah, I think that's the biggest thing.
Okay. And what do you think needs to be changed for the next leg in the team?
What do I think needs to be changed? Um, hmm. It would be nice if players could start hitting more shots. I'm not gonna lie.
Yo,
We
the
lost a
Angels
lot
have
of
been
aim
rough, eh?
duels. Jeepers, dude. We
Oh.
lost a lot of aim duels, and it's shots that I've seen them hit the entire 3 hours before the game in retakes. It's the same shots that they'll hit there, but and against probably no offense to any of the teams in second div, but against better players. I
Mm.
mean, and then you rock up for the game and people just are no longer in it there, and that would be nice. And maybe getting some practice would be great because
Oh,
I would like to sort out. I mean, we don't even have a single strategy.
no, we
We
don't.
literally calling defaults and then sorry defaults and then going and doing a basic execute. That's all we have. That's all we've had the whole leg. We hadn't had a single strat, no protocols properly in place, no dry running or drilling of anything. 3 hours practice is
Yeah.
in an entire leg.
Ah, the load.
So
Yeah.
that'll be great to get some practice in. Load shedding's not been kind.
Yeah, I think load shedding was the main problem. Like, looking at you
Yeah.
boys, we played what? We played because we obviously had the break in the beginning with load shedding, and then
Yep.
everyone not we didn't play. Then all the games got stacked, and then we played. We have like the weekend off. We play. Like
It's been crazy.
it's
And
literally
then of
been
course I
nothing.
disappeared for a week because we went up to Joburg. I didn't
Mm.
have a PC, so it
No, we
took a
still got
little
a game
while.
done in that time.
Thank God
Somehow,
for
when
the
you
CS community.
who did you go
God.
to again?
Tinks from
Yeah,
well, she was in DNMK,
yeah.
so she had us let us come and play there.
Oh, oh, that game in clutch. We're gonna lose that game otherwise, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, they weren't that bad.
No, they
Okay.
weren't.
Um, what did you enjoy most about this leg in the team?
Hmm. The evolution.
Oh, Alsa.
Um. So when I first joined and we started playing, everybody seemed a little bit confused.
Hmm.
And as we've played during the course of the leg, people are starting to get a lot better at certain things. Like Benji and Bullock have been kind of acting as secondary callers.
Hmm.
So it's been nice to get the voices starting to come up. And then we had a thing with Excessive where we had to get him to speak a bit more because he's got a good brain on his shoulders, but he doesn't seem to call or take charge much. And
No.
in the last game we played, he screamed at us.
Did he
So that
actually?
was he did. He was literally he got a pick on A
Mm.
and had kind of walked out to sandwich and realized, okay, there's nobody else on A. And he
Uh.
just started shouting, "Come on, come on!" Like,
So
fuck,
I've
all
never
right.
heard Dean scream in my entire life.
And then after the round, he was shame. He was just like, "Did I shout at you guys?" And
Oh,
everyone was just like, "Yes, yes, you
oh,
did."
flippin' funny. Never heard Dean
Um,
scream ever.
so the evolution's been nice to see, and
Ah.
I think that the more we play, the better it'll be.
Mm. Okay. What was what was like your favorite round, favorite moment so far, like personally?
Mm, my favorite round of favorite moment.
Like, did you get a 4K or
It would be on Inferno. We were a CT side,
who'd you verse?
and it was against Trident.
Okay.
And it was the first game where I showed up and had a 1.2 rating for the entire
Hey.
series. And what happened is, since that game, I think something hit me in that game, and all of a sudden, I started in porch or lane.
Mm.
I got a pick middle, fell back, got a second pick, got a third pick, got a fourth pick, and then Benji killed the last guy.
Oh, still
And
yes.
all that happened was in that moment, I just everything clicked again. So that was probably my favorite round in the whole leg, is
Ah.
because it's the moment that my entire game has changed. I
Mm,
went from
okay.
averaging 0.7 something rating for the first half of the leg to going up to just over 1. If it's just the last games, it's 1.1.
Okay.
If it's yeah, it just clicked. Things
Mm,
kind of got back, and we definitely played harder teams in the second leg, half of the
sure.
legs. So
No, we definitely had more
yeah,
of the difficult games towards the end.
yeah.
But so, what's your prediction for next leg? What do you think you're gonna get first of?
I'd like to see who our group is, but I definitely think first of is possible. I think
Okay.
that I think that in order to get there, we might need people to to really turn up the workload, in the sense that it might take people just figuring out some more of their mistakes quicker than they are.
What you see
And
more like after time demos, that type of stuff.
yes, precisely that. I think
Okay.
that's exactly what we need more of, is just people to take some time and look at their mistakes
Okay.
and yeah.
Then how did you
But
find the team dynamic so far?
it's been interesting. I forgot how hard it is when you have 5 different people,
Mm.
uh, and you're trying to kind of learn everybody's personality.
Mm. Which one's the
But
most challenging?
who's the most challenging person to deal with in the team?
Yes. You can base the subs as well?
I think it would be Benji,
Really?
and it's not bad at
Mm.
all, but he's got the loudest voice.
True.
So he's not shy to call out mistakes
Mm.
or to climb into some people when people make mistakes.
Yeah.
And it's not always a bad thing, and mostly it's not a bad thing.
Mm.
But it is a bit challenging sometimes to just handle the whole team.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And then the last one. What do you think of Terra Esports so far?
Hmm. You guys seem to have drive to do things right.
Mm.
And I've played for 4 organizations in total. I played for Divine Esports.
Jeez.
I
That's an old
played
one.
for XTC,
I
the
don't even know
academy
that
team.
one.
XTC.
Mm-mm.
They used to have the green X with
It was it
oh, what
white
the
and the
hell?
rest.
Yes, and
Ah,
then they
oh.
had P&D, and all of them was their main team.
Yes, I remember. Yo, I think that was what
They were masters.
2017.
Yes, sir. I played for
Yeah,
the academy team.
just when I
I
started to get
played
into CS.
same for me, dude. And then I played for Omnius, and I've now played for you guys.
Mm.
And the best 2 orgs I've seen run in all my time is you guys and Omnius. And
Jeez. Big ups.
Demonics really tries hard to create a good environment for his players.
Mm.
And I think that his work in social media and his websites and
It's
all that kind of
insane.
stuff is genuinely top tier. So I really rate their org, and you guys seem to be heading in the same direction.
Oh, we're still a bit
Where
young compared to him.
no, 100%, but you're trying to create a good environment. I mean, you don't pick up just any team.
So this conversation actually went on for about 30 more minutes. So in the next video, I'll be